let's jump right into the first color, which is going to be pink. So if you have pink in your art box, go ahead and grab that. Today, I'll be using markers, but you can use anything you have in your art box with the same colors. If it's crayons or colored pencils, those all work great. So with your pink, we're going to use this on a few different places on our BowBow. The first place is on the beautiful bow on BowBow's head. So let's go ahead and start to color that in with our pink. You can start to outline that as best as you can. And you see the shape of this big, beautiful bow on BowBow's head. So just follow along the shape first. And what I'll do is outline it for myself, just to make sure I know what lines to stay within. So first I've outlined it, and then I will go ahead and color it all in with that beautiful pink. And if you don't have pink in your art box, feel free to use any other colors you would like to substitute with that pink. That's the wonderful thing about Sam School Colors and coloring and artwork in general. You can get as creative as you want on your own page. So I'm moving on now to the right side of BowBow's bow, and once you finish out with the bow in that pink color, there's one other place we want to use this, which is going to be on BowBow's tongue. So go right in here and color in BowBow's tongue with that same pink. Beautiful, very nice. Once you're finished with BowBow's tongue, you can move your pink to the side, and we'll move on to our second color, which is going to be black. So in your art box, grab black, and we're going to use this again in the inside of BowBow's mouth. So we'll go ahead and color in that top piece of the mouth. So you see above the tongue, right now it's white. We want to just quickly make that black. So it's a little small in that area, so just be very careful. But if you take your time, you should be able to color it in nice and neat, just like that. So it brings the mouth to life with that tongue sticking out. Beautiful. So you have your black all colored in. Now we'll move on to our next color, which is going to be a brown. So if you can find brown in your art box, go ahead and grab that. And what we're going to start to do with our BowBow as we color BowBow along, there's a few different places we'll be using colors and mixing them in. So you can get as creative as you want, but if you want to follow along with me, we'll kind of use our dark brown first in a few different places. So right over here above the bow, let's get the top part of the hair and just color that in with that dark brown. And then the other side on the left, just color that in. So just some very thin lines basically. And then in here, pick another line and make that brown as well, because BowBow has brown throughout her body. Very nice. Now use this brown inside. You see these inside parts of BowBow's ear? We're going to use the brown in there as well. So go ahead and outline that first, just like that. And then we're going to color that in just like so. And what you'll see is as we continue to color in different colors, it brings out a nice mix of colors on the fur all over BowBow's body. On the right side, same thing. So we're going to color in, outline that right inside part of the ear, and leave these little parts for some different colors a little later on, okay? But let's color this in with that brown, just like that. And then we want to go ahead and use this brown to color in the eyes on our BowBow. So let's use this brown right in here very carefully. And you want to leave these little white circles that you see in white and color around it. So just go above it and then color around it as best as you can, just like that. And let's do it again with the right eye. Same thing. When you get to that, just leave it white as best as you can, just like that. Perfect. So now you have those little white dots that will stay white inside of our BowBow's eyes. And now right in here, we want to pick a spot above the nose. So use the nose as our central point, and just above it with your brown, we're going to actually use this dark brown and just use that line to give us a little guide. And then we're going to go to the left and to the right of where we are with that current dark brown line. So here's what I mean. Take the ending point of your left spot here and just push it out. So we want to go ahead and just push it out and follow the shape of our BowBow. So like we want to basically go from left all the way further out. Push that line out just like that. And then here on the right, we're going to do the same thing in this direction. So start where you ended it here, and then we're going to go all the way and follow along the shape of BowBow's fur. So you see how it has that nice round shape? Just do that. So we're going basically from left to right with this dark brown line. Beautiful. You're doing a terrific job. So let's keep going. We're going to use this brown and skip around a little bit. So let's go down underneath our BowBow's mouth where the tongue area is, and let's use the dark brown right in here. So right where the mouth starts, we're going to start to kind of outline that as best as you can. And then we're going to work our way down, but not all the way down. We want to leave a little bit of space in white. And then on the right side of the mouth, same thing, where it starts, work our way down and just outline it first, and then we can color it in. And the reason we're doing this is because BowBow's colors are all sort of mixed in. So we want to try to get the same effect when we color in our BowBow. So at the end, it looks true to the colors that we see on the JoJo and BowBow show. Beautiful. Just like that. So when we're finished with our dark brown, we can set it aside, and we're going to start to use some extra colors on the rest of our BowBow's body. So now we can go ahead and use a beige color. So if you have something similar to this beige color, grab that, and we're going to use this on a few different parts of our BowBow. All right, so with our beige, let's start out here at the very top where we left a few pieces of BowBow's hair in white. We're going to color that in with that same color. Okay, so we're going to sort of color in between some of the other colors that we did before with the dark brown. Now we're coloring it in and just filling it in a little bit more. And as we move down, we're going to do the same thing throughout BowBow's body. So let's go ahead and start with the ears. So the outside of the ears right in here that we left in white will get this color. So you can color that in. And then we'll move on to the next ear. Same thing we'll do on that side. And when you have these two shades of color next to each other, you see how they contrast each other very nicely. So over here on the right, let's do the same thing with that same color that you have in your hand. Beautiful. And now we're going to continue to move down our page, and what we'll do is we'll leave a few spaces in white. So as I go through, we'll leave these certain spaces in white, but everything else gets this color for now. But there's a third color we'll use on our BowBow that we want to leave a few places in white so we can continue to add those colors at the end. So right in here, we're going to color the middle of the forehead and the middle of the face with this color. And what we want to leave white is right over here. So above the eye, let's leave a little line here in white, okay? Just so we can come back later and color that in. So what you'll see is I'm avoiding this area right in here, just a little strip. We're leaving that white, and we'll color all around it. So just ignore that little area for yourself right now, because we'll color that in a little later. But everything else you can color in with this color around the eyes as well. So you see we have a little white gap right there. That's perfect. Let's leave that white, and we can continue to color around our BowBow's face. And over here, these white spots also will get it. And when we get to the right side, just above our BowBow's eyes, again, we want to leave a certain spot white for ourselves. So let's just outline it first, just like that. And then we can go ahead and color the rest in nice and easy. So this will be our space here. And it does not have to be perfect. Just do the best you can to shape it out. You just want to have them similar in look across from each other. So as best as you can get it, as close as you can get it, it will come out great at the end. Okay, so let's continue to color around the right eye with this same color. just like that. And now right over here on the right side of the face, we're going to just follow the shape. You see this shape that outlines the hair on our BowBow. We'll continue to color that in just like so. And now underneath, we're going to go right above the nose and use that same color. Just a little spot there. And now we have a little space here where we want to go beside the mouth and also underneath the nose. So right in here, just draw yourself a little line, right, that connects the nose from the mouth and color that in with that color. And now let's continue to go to the side. So this right in here, we can do with that. So follow that shape and go on the opposite side and do the very same thing, just like that. So on both sides, we're doing the same thing. And then we can start to really color that in just like that. And let's leave the bottom underneath the tongue, a little bit of white down here. Let's leave that white as best as you can. If you already colored it in, that's totally fine. But let's leave that white because we're going to put the same color again in that area. So now we're going to move on to the rest of our BowBow's body, and let's use the same color. So we're going to continue to color it in. And the only areas that we want to leave white, which I will show you first, are the outside of the legs and tail for our BowBow. So here's what I mean. So let's leave a little bit of space between the inside and the outside here of the edges for our BowBow, because that will get another color in just a little while. So here's what I mean. Make yourself a little outline just like this on your BowBow, and this will help us understand to leave that white for another color in just a little while. So just continue to go all the way down and around, and we're going to color this in. Okay, we're going to color in the back so we can outline that, and the end of the tail will actually be another color. So the back of BowBow's tail will be another color, so let's leave that for another color, but the rest, let's outline it with our current color. So now we have our outline. You see this outline right in here. Let's color that in. Everything on the inside of what we just outlined will be the color that we are looking for. And then we can go ahead and color this in. And the reason we're leaving it white is just so we can remember to come back and color it in later with a different color. So you're just outlining it, you're preparing it. You're basically preparing it for a little later on. And this is the little spot underneath the mouth that we're leaving white, like we said. Beautiful. And so you know exactly where to color with the current color without going into the other areas that will be for the other colors. Beautiful. Excellent. Beautiful. So now let's move on to the final color that we will use on our BowBow's body, which is going to be a light, very light peach. So if you have a light peach similar to this one, find that in your art box, and let's go ahead and use that on the white spots we left on our BowBow. So here you can start to see it filling it in really nicely and giving it a little something different in some of those bigger areas. So it's not quite brown or dark brown. It's going to be more of a light, like a light peach. And that's going to really help to give another color, because BowBow has multiple colors on her body. Underneath the mouth, we left that also white. And then remember those areas here where we left these on the edges in white, we need to color those in as well, just like that. And all of those white areas now get this light color. Beautiful. And don't forget the tail. So let's color that in as well with that light color, just like so. Excellent. So now what we'll do is we'll finish out with our final color, which is red. So grab red from your art box, and we're going to color in these very cute hearts around our BowBow together using the red. So let's go ahead and first outline it just like that. And then we can continue to move on to heart number 2 and heart number 3 right over here. And finally, our last heart, which is on the right, heart number 4. So follow along that shape and then you color it in. So now we finished coloring in this page of BowBow together using 6 colors.